you've built that association. That would be really awesome.
Yeah, I've always fantasized about like the ability to know the transits. So not always, I've only been into astrology a couple of years, but like the ability to know where everything is. So like because it can be very just like you said, just looking at charts all the time. But obviously in the olden days, people would go outside, and look at, and they would have a sense for where they are in the pattern or whatever, however you want to phrase it. And but it's always interested me the idea that like you would be able to gain this time sense, like a sense for the pattern, and also there's people who you can just list off a date and they'll be able to tell you what the chart looked like. That it's I really think that there's something to be said for astrology as a technology that we are integrating. Like it's like I think this is the general Aquarian theme. I think as elucidated, I first kind of put the pieces together in hearing Griffin phrase it in this way. Although I've kind of been this is the way that I've been saying it as well. But the way that he said it really made it clear with the cube and like the idea of the technology integrating it, making it a conscious technology. And I think about that with astrology, and it makes me it makes my mind blow up because I'm like I feel like there's so much potential there, and I that's my sense is that astrology is something that we're kind of having to not necessarily having to, but maybe even having to come to grips with and like to integrate into our faculties. Like because like you say as well, is that we are all doing astrology all the time. It's like we are inevitably synchronized with these things, and insofar as we don't engage with them consciously, they will control us like fate in a sense. And it's like, and it also reminds me of ye shall judge the angels, which is like, the eye is above the astral, right? So this is like, right now, I feel like we're just like being ruled by the astral in a sense, but like there's a way where if we appropriately relate to it, then it no longer rules us. And,
Yeah,
and
and that's really the task of the present epoch here is it's not enough to just be kind of strung along by these things anymore, because it's like within prior epochs, there was always this kind of membrane, as it were, around human beings. You could kind of just let go of your ego and go with the flow. A lot of Eastern forms of mysticism are oriented in this way towards just kind of submitting to a guru or whatever, a particular tradition, and just kind of allowing the sense of individuality to dissolve in a sense. And that was possible, and that was doable because the culture forms themselves had this kind of cohesion and this kind of history and this kind of memory to them that one could kind of let go into that in a way. Um, but if you do that in the modern world, you're gonna end up in a like cult, and you're gonna die because they're gonna make you drink the fucking poison Kool-Aid. Like
yeah,
we're
or
just not in
plug
that kind of
or inject whatever the fuck into you, you know?
right, and we're just not in that world anymore. We're in a world where we have no choice but to be doing this at the level of our own personal consciousness. And so that is our task to become cognizant of these things, to develop these faculties. And if you don't, then you're going to get sucked into Ahriman. That's what's happening right now. Is there's this massive movement at a societal and a technological level towards the annihilation of the human ego. Everything about the development of human society at the moment is oriented towards the infantilization of the human ego so that it doesn't develop properly. This is why you've got, babies playing with iPads before they know how to fucking speak. And that's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna continue, especially now that the medical industrial complex has realized that it can use psychedelic substances to make human beings more docile and mentally healthy. And like, they're not going to use that for things that are good for us. And if you think that, you're a fucking idiot. These
Yeah.
people are not
Even
on our
yeah.
team.